The message arrived at Starfleet Command like a bolt from the blue. It spoke of a weapon of unimaginable power. The Romulans called it the Thaleron generator. Starfleet analysts dubbed it the Annihilator. The very air went still when its capabilities were revealed. The Thaleron generator didn't just kill, it didn't merely destroy. It eradicated all life at a subatomic level, leaving nothing but sterile, lifeless husks in its wake. The implications were staggering. In the wrong hands, the Thaleron generator could obliterate entire worlds, wiping out civilizations with a single terrible blast. The Romulans, always a secretive and militaristic power, now possessed a weapon that tipped the balance of power in the quadrant. The Federation, founded on principles of peace and diplomacy, found itself facing a threat unlike any it had encountered before. The very survival of countless lives hung in the balance. The stakes had never been higher. Panic surged through the highest levels of Starfleet Command. Admirals and diplomats huddled in tense meetings, their faces etched with worry. The Romulans had made their intentions clear. They would share their weapon, but at a price. The price was Captain Jean-Luc Picard. They demanded his blood, a chilling testament to the depth of their hatred for the captain who had thwarted them time and time again. The demand sent shockwaves through the Federation. Picard was a hero, a symbol of Starfleet's ideals. To hand him over to the Romulans, even for a weapon as powerful as the Thaleron generator, was unthinkable to many. A firestorm of debate erupted. Some argued that the needs of the many outweighed the needs of the few, that Picard's sacrifice could save billions. Others held firm to their principles, refusing to compromise their morals even in the face of such a dire threat. Starfleet found itself at a moral crossroads, torn between its commitment to peace and its duty to protect its citizens. Admiral Captain Janeway felt the weight of the galaxy on her shoulders. The destruction of the Borg transwarp conduit had elevated her to near-legendary status. She had stared into the abyss and returned. But this new crisis tested her resolve like never before. The Romulan demand cut deep. She and Picard had a long, complicated history. They had been colleagues, rivals, even at times friends. The thought of sacrificing him, of condemning him to certain death, filled her with a profound sense of unease. Janeway, however, was a pragmatist. She understood the terrible threat the Thaleron generator posed. She had seen firsthand the devastation that unchecked power could unleash. The Romulans could not be allowed to keep such a weapon. The Federation had to find a way to neutralize the threat, even if it meant making difficult, even unthinkable choices. Janeway wrestled with her conscience. She knew that whatever decision she made, there would be consequences. She could not allow herself to be swayed by sentiment. The fate of the Federation might very well depend on her next move. The Romulan ambassador was a study in contrasts. His face was a mask of impassivity, his voice smooth and measured. But beneath the surface, Janeway sensed a deep cunning, a ruthless intelligence that sent chills down her spine. Their negotiations took place in secret, in the shadowy corridors of a remote space station, far from the prying eyes of the Federation Council. The air crackled with tension. Every word was a calculated move, every gesture a subtle power play. The Romulans were masters of deception and intrigue. Janeway knew that she had to tread carefully. She could not afford to show any weakness, any hesitation. The ambassador reiterated the Romulan demand for Picard, his voice as cold and unyielding as a blade. He spoke of the captain's interference in Romulan affairs, of the humiliation he had inflicted upon their empire. Their price, he insisted, was non-negotiable. Janeway listened intently, her mind racing. She had to find a way to outmaneuver the Romulans, to acquire the Thaleron technology without sacrificing Picard. Failure was not an option.